it's not looking good. It is not looking good for Duet Night Abyss. So the game just dropped today morning for me personally in my region, 7 in the morning, and I played like 6 hours in the game. Pretty much done with the initial part of the story, all the tutorials and the early game. And yeah, I just opened the community to see what is going on with the game, and apparently people are having a lot of issues with this game. The launch has been extremely rough, and if you have been able to enter the game, I say if because a lot of people have apparently not even been able to enter the game, which is crazy. If you make it into the game, it's a pretty solid game. I think we need to talk about a few issues of the community though, because this is actually crazy. Let's start with the first hurdle that a lot of people are facing in the game as soon as they try to get into the game, that is the launcher. Apparently, a lot of people are not even able to get past the launcher, right? Just take a look at this dude. 5th time I have tried to download the game, but I keep getting this error when installing. What could be the issue? Look at this. The game files verification error, select confirm to re-download the game resources. Now this is kind of a big pain in the ass if you are on limited data and you have to re-download this entire game every single time. And this guy downloaded it for the 5th time and he still could not get past it. This guy is like, me too, I'm about to give up and try again later, and there is still no fix for it. This is 15 hours ago. So basically in the pre-download state, when the game is just about to launch, many people were not able to pre-download or even load the game. Now I had a similar kind of issue with Wuthering Waves when it came out. The launcher never really worked for me. For some reason, the launcher just straight up corrupted the game as soon as it downloaded it. Then I shifted to Epic Games launcher and that kind of worked for me. But yeah, now I'm back to the official launcher again because the Epic Games launcher fucked up with an update and now it does not work for me anymore. I guess the launcher just acting crazy in these games is kind of normal. We know that Hero Games took a lot of inspiration from Kuro Games, so maybe they also took an inspiration for the launcher issues and they put in the same launcher issues in their game as well. But yeah, this is not really a good sign. If people are not even able to enter your game, then I don't know, bro. It's not good. It's not good for the game. Now, if you are past the launcher state, if you are in the loading state, you are still not safe. Because apparently the servers of the game have become so crowded, a lot of people are not even able to enter the game. Like they are not being able to go past the loading screen. Now, if you have made past the loading screen, if you have made it into the game, if you are on NA and EU server, things are not looking good for you. This is a video by my dude Mtash out here, and this is a good example of what's actually going on the NA EU server, right? Let's take a look for the first 10 seconds. Let's just see how many times his game lags, all right? So 0th second, it's already loading, right? And yeah, 6 seconds in, it's loading once again. It's still loading. All right, in 10 seconds, it has loaded 2 times. Now let's go a little bit further, right? 16 seconds, it loads once again. So it's like almost every 6 seconds, this dude's game is loading. This situation is so bad, I will say it's pretty much unplayable. Because what can you do when the game is loading this many times, right? You move maybe 5 steps forward and then the game starts loading and you are back again. Now, fortunately, I am on the SEA server and the SEA server seems to be a lot more stable than the NA and EU server. Now, I understand that the game had 15 million pre-registrations, and if let's suppose 15 million players entered the game at the same time, it's gonna cause problems, which understandable, totally agreed to that. But the thing is, the devs knew that they have 15 million pre-registrations, right? So they should have kept the server, capacities around that number so that this situation does not happen. Similar thing happened to Wuthering Waves when it launched. I know a lot of people face lags. In Wuthering Waves, I personally faced lags. Like I was moving a few steps forward and I was teleporting back. It was very annoying. A lot of people could not log in, could not get into the game. And then there was Tower of Fantasy as well. If you guys remember it, people could not enter the game for weeks. So yeah, it's not that bad, but I mean, learning from their mistakes, I think this stuff should not be acceptable, right? This stuff should not be normalized. If you know that you have 15 million pre-registrations, maybe you should work on improving that server capacity so something like this does not happen, because this puts a really negative impact for the game, right? As soon as the game launches, a lot of people are excited to play the game, and if they are not even able to enter the game, yeah, it kills all the excitement. Now, if you're not on NA and EU, you're probably spared from these server issues, but if you are playing on mobile, it's another shit show. Like, the game is basically unplayable unless you have a very high-end mobile running like the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite or 8 Gen 2 or something, right? If you don't have a very high-end phone, if you're running a mid-range phone, if you don't have the latest processor, you're basically cooked in this game, right? Just take a look at the number of people complaining about this. Take a look at this guy. This game is low-key dookie. It's looking really bad on my iPad Pro. Controls are awful. Did anyone test before the launch? This is an iPad Pro we are talking about. This probably has, I mean, what am I saying probably, bro? iPad Pro has the fastest processor on any mobile device right now that you can have, right? Even on this device, it's looking really bad. And if you are not on an iPad Pro, it's terrible, bro. Just look at this. This game on mobile is cooked and the controls are so bad. You will see a lot of people are complaining about the controls. Controls are awful on this post. Controls are so bad on this one as well. And he's getting a solid 26 FPS. If you look at this post, looks and plays like shit on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Dude, iPhone 17 Pro Max, it's game lagging on that phone is crazy. Now, I can kind of understand why this is happening, because if you look at the game, the graphics and everything look very similar to Wuthering Waves, right? So they have probably used Unreal Engine again for this, and we know Unreal Engine is just absolutely dog shit when it comes to running on phones. Wuthering Waves till this day does not run good on phones unless you have like a very high-end phone or a gaming phone. Wuthering Waves just runs like dog shit on those phones, right? So if this game is again based on Unreal Engine, probably this issue cannot be fixed. Like, I hate Unreal Engine so much. Ever since this engine has came out, I think every game looks exactly the same and also performs absolutely shitty, be it on PC, be it on mobile. And unfortunately, this game is made on Unreal Engine, so I don't know how much they can optimize this. Maybe they can add a potato graphic setting in the game, because for now, you cannot really disable shadows and stuff on mobile version. That is what I've heard. So if they can add those options, maybe the game will play a little bit better. It will look absolutely terrible though. So yeah, that is another thing. On PC, the movement did feel a little bit janky to me. The combat was also not really extremely smooth. Like, when it's working really great. But sometimes your abilities and your attacks just straight up ignore enemies in a frame. I have seen my abilities passing through enemies and not damaging them. I have seen the items that I'm getting from enemies sometimes phase through the ground and they're just sitting inside rocks. They're just phased into buildings. They're inside the ground, so I cannot pick them up. And sometimes I'm just trying to climb, but there is some sort of hurdle and the climbing is not really working. It's a little bit of a janky combat mechanism right now. I think that they could improve on it, make it a little bit smoother. They took inspiration from Wuthering Waves, right? But I feel like one thing Wuthering Waves did really good at launch was that the combat worked absolutely flawlessly. I never had problems with Wuthering Waves combat ever since it launched. But there are a few like rough edges around the combat, the traversal, and the movement in this game in general, even on PC. So I can see the problems being even that much worse when it comes to mobile, right? And the game is, I think the cutscenes in this game, they're not really optimized. So when you're starting off the game, there's going to be a cutscene with Veronica, the white-haired chick who's with you, basically your partner at the beginning of the game. There's going to be a cutscene with her where she uses her ultimate, and that cutscene in particular seems to be crashing the game for a lot of people. For me, what happened was the game straight up froze for I think around 10 seconds, and I thought the game crashed, but after 10 seconds I was suddenly in a fight. So what happened was basically I think the cutscene stuck in one frame, and then the whole cutscene played in the background. I could hear the sound, but the frame was not moving forward, and then suddenly when the cutscene ended, I was thrown into a fight. If you don't have a really good PC, I have seen people literally crashing on this cutscene, like the game straight up closes and they cannot progress behind this cutscene. So the cutscene definitely has some sort of a problem. The same problem is happening on mobile. This exact same Veronica cutscene, I think a lot of people on mobile are also crashing on this particular one. And that's not the only cutscene I have faced problems with. When I started playing the game, there are lots of other cutscenes. I noticed that the frame rate of the game drastically drops when it's in cutscenes. Like, it just goes straight from 300 to something like 15 or 20. And I can I can observe that difference, because when a frame rate of a game drops from 300 to 15, it's a very clear day and night difference. So I can notice that lag happening in cutscenes. Maybe they rendered the cutscenes at a lower frame rate, or they probably messed up somewhere in the coding. But yeah, the cutscenes in the game are pretty laggy on PC as well as on mobile. All in all, in the gameplay though, I did not really face any frame drops, like when fighting enemies or when just moving around traversal. But if you are on mobile, that's a different story. Now overall, as you can see, Duet Abyss did not really have the perfect launch. It did have a few hiccups here and there. Obviously, every company is not Hoyoverse, right? Whenever Hoyoverse launches a game, you can be pretty confident that their game is going to like launch absolutely perfectly. The same issues kind of happened with Wuthering Waves, but the thing is, Kuro kind of acted on it really fast, right? They solved all the login issues, they fixed most of the stuttering and the ping issues and the not being able to log in issues, launcher issues. Within a week, all of that stuff was probably sorted out. So it totally depends on how fast Hero Games deals with these issues, because if they take way too long, then yeah, people are going to be annoyed, and I think they definitely need to address this through an official post, maybe through an apology. Give the people some free pulls, bro. People are gonna be happy when they see you give them free pulls, and they're probably gonna forgive you. That's how gacha mentality works, right? Shove in a few pulls and people are happy. So they really need to fix all these issues really fast, guys, especially the login issues and the horrible performance on mobile, because there's going to be a huge amount of player base that's going to be coming from mobile, and if the game plays really shit on mobile, then yeah, there's not going to be a lot of people playing this game. Let's be completely real, right? So these three issues they really need to fix as soon as they can. So let's see how fast they act on this, how fast these issues get solved, and let me know your experience regarding Duet Night Abyss. Did you face any of these issues when you tried to play the game, or has your gameplay been like relatively smooth? I think if you are on PC and if you are on the SEA region, you will not really face a lot of these issues. Most people who are facing these issues are either on mobile or on NA and EU server, because yeah, apparently the NA and EU servers are extremely overcrowded. Let me know about your experience, and I'll see you guys in the next video.